Hi, guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with Cinthia, episode 8. I am Cinthia, your host, and I have a very special guest today. First of all, let's do an audio check real quick. You can hear me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Guys, and if you guys are in the chat, if you guys can please share the live. I see a couple people commenting already. Shout out to Ink. He said, "Oh, damn, reunion stream." And Bailey said, "So excited." Guys, if you guys can do us a favor and share the stream, and let's get some more people in here. So, before I give a warm welcome to my beautiful daughter, guys, we started off a little bit late, so I'm so sorry about that, but we're here. We're here with the holidays and everything. We had a lot going on, but we didn't want to skip this podcast. I know I didn't. So, Daisy, thank you so much for accepting my invite, mija. How are you?
So good. It just feels so nice to be interviewed right now by my sweet, lovely mother.
I love it, guys. And if you guys are just tuning in, I'm super excited because this is actually episode number 8, which I'm really excited about because that's basically, 8. So I've been doing it for almost 2 months, I guess. I guess they started in November. So everybody who's been supporting the podcast, you guys, thank you. Huge shout out to you guys. And if you guys are just tuning in, or even if you're watching the replay, if you guys could consider subscribing and sharing and commenting and all that good stuff, you guys, it helps the algorithm and it helps to push out the podcast out to the YouTube world, because YouTube can be a little harder to like reach people. You know what I mean? But it's all good. But anyways, Daisy, I am so excited to have you here, Miha, because I feel like it's the perfect timing to have invited you, even though we had a lot going on today. We're like, should we cancel? Should we not? But I think it was a perfect timing, because I think I asked you, I think if you remember, I was like, should we do the podcast before you run the marathon or should we do it after? And I'm so glad we're doing it after, because I felt like it was important to interview you because I obviously witnessed like your preparation for this. And I think not just the marathon, there's a lot we're going to like talk about, but I feel like it's just so much more. Like, I don't know, even watching you, how you impacted people, including myself, like a lot of life lessons, you know? So, but before we get into all that, people who are maybe just watching for the first time, if you just want to like introduce yourself, who you are, you know, how old are you, whatever you want to say, just a little quick intro, and then we'll get started with all the questions. And guys, if you guys do have questions for Daisy, drop them in the chat, okay, so we can answer them. The mic is yours. The floor is yours.
The introduction's always the most awkward part, but my name is Daisy. Obviously, I'm 25 years old. I don't even know. That's it. That's me. I don't really know how else I would describe myself. Obviously, we're gonna talk more about the marathon and running and stuff, which is a part of what I like to do. But other than that, I don't know what else to say.
No, that's okay. And guys, if you guys are watching, again, make sure you guys have questions ready. We're not gonna try to make this podcast too long, because I know, guys, it's the holidays and we have things to do. You know what I mean? But I'm so excited to ask you questions, and I guess we can just get right into it, obviously. And if you guys are watching for the first time, this is my daughter. It's my second oldest daughter, right? Second oldest, right?
I mean, I'm not old. I'm just
okay. Well,
you know.
Yeah. And guys, if you're listening, Bailey or Ink or whoever's watching, can you guys make sure, give us a thumbs up or let us know if the audio or the sound is okay, like from your end. Just want to make sure, because I know from my end, like I can hear her, but not like super good. But I want to make sure, like the audience from you guys, that you guys can hear okay. If you guys can let us know in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. No. I can hear you. I could hear you, but it's really low. So I don't know if it's mine. Okay, it might be my computer. Okay, good. Okay, Bailey gave us a thumbs up. So good. All right. Well, we're going to get started, because first, before I don't ask you some questions, but I thought this was so important to interview you and ask you these questions, because number one, I'm super proud of you. Like, you're such an example for, I think, more people than you even imagine. But just to see your journey, and if you guys have been following us, you guys know we're huge into like mental health and just like that personal development, that self-growth. And to see your growth in these past years, how many, I don't even know. It's been like, what, 6 years? No, when you really started your like growth, like your personal.
So like 5 years.
2020. So going on 6 years, I guess. Yeah, because pretty much. Yeah. But to see that growth has been so cool. So the first question I want to ask you is like, how you started on your personal growth and how that has impacted your life, and then from there I want to take it to like like when you decided to sign up for this marathon or even running, in general, because I think people want to know that, So we'll start with that one. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personal growth, I would say it happened when, because before well, I mean, I've been moving back and forth my
Yeah.
whole life, basically, from California to here. And the last time that I lived in California, I feel like I was going through a breakup, and obviously I'm 18 years old, 19 years old, so I think it's like the end of the world. I feel like I was super sad. I didn't really know where I was going, just because I feel like in a relationship that young, you're kind of following the other person, just like wherever you go, I go, but
Yeah.
and not
Wait,
as
how old
so
are you?
serious.
Like 18?
I
No,
was 8. I was 19, I think.
19? Okay, yeah. That's
And so I feel like that was the first time. Well, it was a good and a bad thing. That was the first time that I experienced like really crazy anxiety, because I was
mm,
like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, is this what like? Should I stay here? Like, should I follow this person all the way to their school? Like, basically just follow them,
yeah.
or should I end this relationship and then like start a new path, basically?
Yeah.
And then I decided to end things, which was kind of crazy, because I feel like at the age of 19, you're not really like, you're obviously, your brain isn't fully developed, so you don't really make rational decisions. But I
Yeah.
feel like in that moment I was like, I don't know why I have to leave, but I have to leave, and that's what I
You felt that
did.
urge, like,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
and I think that obviously right after I was super sad and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I remember I moved back to Utah and I moved in with you. And I remember thinking like, "Oh my god, like I'm going backwards, like
Got
I'm
my
living with,
mom.
yeah, I'm living with my mom. Like this is so embarrassing." And I was like so sad, I just remember. And I remember you told
I
me like,
remember.
"Okay, yeah, you're like, I'm going to give you 2 days. 2 days to be sad, cry it out, like let whatever you need out. And then after that, like you need to start on your self-love journey. You need to figure out what you want. You need to figure out how, or learn how to love yourself and do whatever it takes to get there." And I remember at first I was like, that is so
She's
messed
so
up to only
real.
giving me 2 days. Like, what the heck am I supposed to do in 2 days? Like, what? And I was like so a little bit offended at
I
first.
remember.
And then I was like, I mean, I don't know if it lasted actually 2 days, but I do remember I like started going out on the balcony and I was journaling, because you told me that journaling helped you a little bit with anxiety and like kind of
Yes.
like putting your emotions together. And the more that I journaled, the more I was getting in tune with myself, and the more that I would start to do things for myself personally. And I moved into my first apartment. Like I feel like everything just kind of started to make more sense, because I started to
Mm,
find myself. And I think
yeah.
I did it at such a young age. Like I had that click in my mind that was like, okay, I need to be better
Yeah.
at such a young age, that it just, from then I just
It
kept
just
going, and now
Yeah, and I mean, because obviously, and I remember that clearly. But I love when we talk about it, because I feel like if you guys are watching, it's so important. I think people have the perception of like the self love journey in many different ways, right? They perceive it in many different ways. But like for me, obviously, as your mom, I've seen the growth, I've seen the change, and even from what you're saying, it's safe to say, like, dang, that like kind of changed my life, because maybe
oh
you
yeah.
completely shift like the way you like you saw you looked at life, or even yourself. Would you say that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Like,
think that, well, one, obviously everybody around me had a role in it, because like, for example, I feel like when I lived with my aunt in California, she could have been like, "Oh yeah, just like stay here," and just like there's so many things that could have happened
that
and I
could have
would have
happened.
been so different. But
Yeah,
because she was like, "No, I'm going to tell her to go, like I'm going to have her go back with her mom, like she needs to go back with her mom," and just like deciding I'm gonna do stuff that like your normal 19-year-old probably wouldn't take the time to do,
yeah,
was really eye-opening, humbling. Like, I don't know, it was just a whole roller coaster of emotions. Good, bad,
yeah,
scary,
yeah. But you know
everything.
what? But you did it, and I like to talk about this porque like there could be a lot of people your age. I mean, there is at the moment, right? And it's not an easy age either. In your 20s, I feel like, well, a lot of people even at my age, everyone's like, I don't have life figured out. And sometimes when you come to realize, like, okay, I don't have to have everything figured out, but if you like shift your mindset to like, oh, okay, it kind of starts with me. Like I have to heal me. Like I have to work on me. I feel like that changes now. I don't know if you can
Mhm.
agree with this, but I believe it's 100% easier said than done. Would you agree that working on
Oh,
self is like
yeah.
one of the hardest things to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant journey
Mhm.
and struggle, but I
Yeah.
think that when people think of like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna start taking care of myself and loving myself," they think it's automatic, just sunshine and rainbows, like, it's gonna be so easy,
It's like
but
night and day. You're
yeah,
good.
it's I mean, there's gonna be good days, really
Yeah,
good
yeah,
days,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there's
Of
also
course.
gonna be really bad days because not only are you learning how to love yourself, but you're also learning how to undo,
Unlearn
like,
or
reactions that you have or things that
ooh,
you think or things that you think about yourself. Like there's just so much you have to unlearn. And I think when people think like, oh yeah, she's like in her self-love journey, they think like, oh yeah, she's just journaling and like touching some grass. No, like you like go through some deep dark days that you're like
yeah,
you have to feel it in order to keep going. Like you just
that
have to
part.
feel all the emotion.
Oh, and I feel like that's one of the hardest things I know that I've learned even at my age. Like I feel like a lot of times people that's what I'm saying, like, when you like it's easy to post, like, "Hey, all these positive stuff." It's easy to, like, encourage people, "Hey, love yourself, work focus on you." But the
Mhm.
hardest thing I would say, and I don't know if you agree, is to, like, when you're doing that self-healing and I don't know, my take on it is, like, I feel like we have to do this forever, you know? It's not like you have a time frame in 6 months, do it, and you're gonna be great. Like, nothing like you said, nothing's gonna go wrong. No. But I feel like one of the hardest things in the healing journey and in self, I guess, love or development is sitting in that like in those feelings of oh I gotta feel the anger, I gotta feel the resentment, the sadness, whatever it is. And like I think a lot of times we and I say people but I include myself, like we don't want to feel that. You want to distract yourself, you want to do things that where you're like I'm good, I'm good, like
Yeah.
let me continue with life, let me get distracted with this. And then you're not really feeling what you have to. And then I feel like that's such an important part of healing. And trust me, there's still stuff that I still don't even want to feel, but like I feel like that's such an important thing because if not, how do you? I don't know. How do you like really? How do you say it? Like heal
Well,
those inner, deeper
yeah.
parts. You know what I mean?
Or even just, like, move on. I feel like if you're
Yeah,
holding on to feelings from the past, like, how do you expect to become a new version of yourself if you're still holding on to
yeah.
the version of you
That
that
old.
was in this situation or was with this person or I was thinking
That's
these
so
things? Like, if you
true.
can't let that go, then you're basically saying, like, "I'm not willing to let it go to become the
Yeah.
new version of myself."
Thing. And that's so true, and I think that's and a lot of people don't wanna, like, not accept it or maybe accept it, or they just don't wanna go there, I feel like, because and then I say it because I've heard people say that, like, "Oh, well, I'm scrolling on social media because I don't really wanna think about real life," or, you get distracted with whatever, and I think
Mhm.
social media, that's one of the reasons it's existing, right? But I think
Yeah.
people just don't wanna do the work, and you're right, I feel like that is one of the hardest things to do, and in your journey, I've seen your growth, and it's been so cool. Again, like I said, it's not you guys, if you're listening, it's not working on self doesn't mean, oh my God, we're like this holy people and like no, but I feel like it just does change something in your, I don't know, in the perspective, the way you look at life, right? Because then
Mhm.
if not, it's easy to just like either be the victim or blame people like for what you've gone through or what you're going through. But I think when you take that self accountability and say, oh crap, okay, I went through stuff growing up or I've gone through really hard times, but the only person that can like help in this journey is myself, right? Would you
Yeah.
agree? How would
Yeah.
you like see that? I mean, you don't have to get into details or you can, but I'm saying I think people it's important to talk about that because I think a lot of people feel lost when it comes to like, okay, well, how do I work on myself? You don't know what I've gone through, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people put themselves in the victim mentality because it's like, why did I have to experience this to be stronger
Mhm.
or to be better or
Yeah,
to learn? Which I mean, realistically, there are things that happen in life that probably shouldn't have happened.
yeah,
And sometimes it's the luck of the draw. I mean, like
yeah,
life is so different for everybody. But I
yeah.
think what's a really popular, I mean, I don't know the quote exactly, but it says like, you can't change what happened to you, but you can change how your life looks after the fact.
Mm,
And I think that when I was younger, I definitely had a more victim mentality because I was like, oh my God, my parent, like me, you and dad divorced. Like now my
yeah,
life is going to be so much harder. And like we don't have enough money. And like now I can go like just all the things that I just kept saying,
yeah.
like now I can't do this, I can't do that. And you're just kind of falling into comparison now because you're like, well, these
Mm,
people got it easier. And like now, how am I supposed to still be living my life normally, but then also be growing as a person? Like it's just so much work. So
yeah.
naturally, you start to blame other people if you're not
It's
where you want to
easier.
be because you're like, well,
Yeah.
I'm here because of you, or I'm here because you said
Mm,
this. But I think at one point, I just realized the only person that's actually miserable when I am putting myself in victim mentality is me.
Is me.
Because
Yeah.
I'm the only like, I'm literally the only block that's keeping me from being here to here. And I
Yeah.
think that the more that I started, like, being like, "Oh, like, poor me, poor me, poor me," I just was like, and not even, like, in a sad way, but it's like, no one cares. Like, no one cares who you're
Yeah.
blaming, no one cares what you think or who you're mad at or why you're mad at or who you're holding grudges on. What matters is what you think about yourself and what are you gonna do to make life better, if that makes sense. But I think that it's, easier said than done because it took me a long time to not blame
Yeah.
people for the way that I am, or, like, sometimes I get angry, I'm like, "Oh, it's because of my dad," or whatever, but it's like, it's
Mhm.
so easily, like, something you can change. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of do you want to?
That's
And
so
some
true.
people just don't.
No, and you said something, I mean, everything you said was, like, powerful, but, like, it sounds harsh when you say, like, people don't care. But the reality is, and it's not like, obviously, like, for example, like us, like, I'm your mom, and of course, you have people who genuinely care, but, like,
Mhm,
when you completely, like, when you really think about it, it's like, "Wait a minute, okay, even maybe certain people can act a certain way, but obviously everyone's dealing with their own I don't want to say demons, but like their own issues, their own trauma, you know? And
yeah,
sometimes it's harsh to say, like, well, no one cares. But when you think about it, it is easy to fall in victim mentality. But I feel like it's like a breakthrough when you do come to that like self accountability. I want to call it because
mhm,
like you said, it does suck. And there's things that we go through that you're like, okay, I've questioned that. I've questioned God too. Like, well, okay, why did I have to go through this? Like, couldn't you have taught me in a different way? You know, couldn't I have
mhm,
learned a lesson in a different way? And there's going to be a lot of questions that I feel like I don't know if we'll ever get answers, but I feel like the change, um, I feel like the pain and the things that we go through, and then you could tell me like, you know, what your perspective is on it, but like it's always going to be there, right? Because like when we go through stuff, you can't change it. It affects you. You can't change that necessarily, but like you said, you can change what you do with that or how you react to it moving forward, right? You're like,
yeah,
okay, well, this sucks that this happened, but moving forward, I'm not going to let that control or take over my life. Like if I'm still here and I'm able to change or do better or impact people or even help people with what I've gone through, then I could do that, right? So I think it's
mhm,
just it's safe to say like the way there's a quote that says it's not what happens to you, but the way you react to life, right? And I always tell people life is always going to be a roller coaster. Like there's always going to be challenges. You can't always be super happy. You can't always be super sad. Like it's a balance, but I think
mhm,
the most important part is like how we react to life's challenges, adversities, right? Would you
yeah,
agree?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think obviously there's gonna be situations where you just react out of instinct, and then
Well, yeah. Yeah.
afterwards you're like, "Oh my god, why did I
Like,
say
oops.
this? Why did
Yeah,
that?"
well, because 'cause
But
we're
I think,
human beings, it's gonna happen.
yeah, and I think just regardless of whether it's your mental health or you're working
Yeah.
on certain issues, like, it's all just a process, but it's just
Yeah.
a matter of learning from your mistakes, and
Yeah.
maybe just, I don't know, I feel like once I started healing a little bit more on what's happened in my life and, like, understanding that, when I feel like when I say people don't care, I mean, yes, it sounds like they just don't care, so, like, why do you care? Which, yes, that's true, but I think understanding that people don't care is also something that can bring so much peace, because it's like,
True.
why do I care so much about what they think if no one cares? Like,
Yeah.
everyone's, like, living in their own
Yeah.
world, everybody has their own situations that they have to deal with, and yeah, of
Yep.
course, you're gonna get people that judge or say something or whatever, but at the end of the day,
That'll always
everyone
happen.
comes back to themselves, and I think that that's something that a lot of people don't really think about,
Think
is
about yeah.
that we just, at the end of the day, you end the day with you, so
That's so
I don't know
true.
if that makes any sense. I just
No,
feel
no,
like,
it does make sense because I feel like when you're saying that, it makes a lot of sense because not even in just on like what you've gone through. It I feel like it applies to like to everyday life. Like when we're on social media and we're comparing ourselves to, oh my God, that person, or if I post this, what are they gonna think? Or like a lot of times, I can't remember who said this, but they're like, we live our life always concerned about what other people think or how they're gonna perceive you. Are they gonna like me? Does this look good? Like we give so much power to what people think when in reality, everyone, like you just said, everyone's living their own life. They might be in that situation of like, oh my gosh, do I look good enough? And but
mhm,
think about it, Daisy. That's crazy when you think about it, like the power we give other people that they have no idea about. You know what I'm saying? Does
yeah,
that make sense? Like we
yeah,
give we're so concerned. I think it's just because of the world, the way social media is. I say social media because it's a huge thing right now, and a lot of people do live on there comparing themselves, wishing they had this person's life or wishing they looked like this, and it's caused that in a lot of people. But I think when you get to that place of, listen, I got to make sure I approve of me. I'm my biggest cheerleader. Like, I'm happy with myself. Like, dang, that's such a game changer. Now, again, it's easier said than done. Like, we can know this, but to live it every day is challenging. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think
Yeah.
it's a journey
Yeah.
just from beginning to start. I mean, to end, but there's really no end because every
Yeah.
single time, every single day, you're learning something new about yourself. You're learning something that could trigger you. You're learning something that like
Mhm.
maybe you should not be doing. And I feel like it's there's no other word than like it's a journey. Like you just
It's a
have to
journey.
kind
Yeah.
of let it flow, and you got to just keep going and
That's true.
just as long as good or bad, as long as you're learning, which I feel like is something that Sebastian always tells me.
Yeah.
Sebastian is my boyfriend, by the way, or fiance, by the way. But
Wait, we haven't got there yet. I'm just kidding. No.
oh, sorry,
That's
sorry.
okay. I'm just kidding.
But I think
Yeah.
that that's also important. Is like you can be in a certain journey, but it also like matters the people that you surround yourself with, not
Yeah.
because of what they think, but because they could help and
Yeah.
guide you in a way that maybe you didn't even know about. Like you didn't even
Yeah.
know you needed to hear that or you needed to learn that. And also,
It's
I feel
true.
like the people that really are close to your heart when they give you advice or even
Yeah.
criticism,
Like constructive criticism.
constructive
Yeah. Yeah.
criticism.
Yeah.
I feel like if you when you receive it from the right person, you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
you really like think about how can I change, not because I need to change who I am, but how can I change to be a better person, because that's the journey that I'm on. And of course,
That's true. Where's my
I think
glasses
there's a
on?
big like misconception about um like your healing journey. People think that you have to be alone, like because it's your
Mm.
self-love journey. And I think that everyone thinks, and me included, I think in the beginning I was like, oh, like this is my self-love journey, I have to do
Leave me
everything by
alone.
myself. Yeah, like I'm gonna do me, like I'm gonna do it by myself, and I'm gonna prove to everyone that
Yeah.
I can do it. And I think even though you're in that self-love journey to like value
Yeah.
yourself more, you're also kind of slipping into like, let me show everyone who I became.
True.
And
That's
I
true.
think that like back then I was doing a podcast and I loved the podcast that I did, but I was
You need to
definitely
do it again,
putting
by
up
the
a
way.
front. Huh?
Uh-huh. I said you need to do it again, by the way.
Yeah, coming soon, hopefully. But I think I was definitely putting up a front of like, oh, I'm so healed when I knew I still had so
um,
much to work on. Even when I look back on my videos, like it was good advice, but it was advice that I wasn't even like using for my
like you
life.
weren't applying
You
it to
know,
you
but I
either.
knew
Yeah.
exactly what to say. So I feel like heal in a humble and genuine way, and
Mm.
you won't have to explain yourself or prove yourself to anyone. People would just see it.
Yeah, but then that's the thing though. Like I feel like when we understand that the healing journey is ours, and even talking about journeys, when you understand that everybody's journey is different, and like
Mhm.
my journey is not going to necessarily look like yours, or yours isn't going to look like your sisters, or like we all have, we, like you said, we can surround ourselves with people or like encourage one another, be like, hey, this is my take on this, but understanding that not like we're individuals for a reason, right? Like I'm gonna have my journey. I'm gonna, maybe my learning process is gonna be different than yours. Like it's so much to look at it, and understanding that I feel like it, like just the word that you just said right now is key. It's a journey, and I think a lot of times people want to get from A to to Z, like quickly, like, or I want to heal. I'm completely healed, but the reality is that life is still gonna life. Like it's more like, okay,
Mhm.
how do I heal? But like, how do I maybe grow is another word too, because I feel like when you grow as a person, then you learn more. You learn how to maybe react to things differently. Maybe, and again, we're human, like you said. There's gonna be times that, oh, shoot, like maybe you get caught off guard or whatever. But that's just life. But I feel like the important thing here is like taking that step and acknowledging, like, okay, understanding that my journey, like I'm accountable for it. Like it's what I do with my life. It's what I do with my life challenges, how I react to it. It's what I do to grow. Do I want to
Mhm.
be stagnant? If here in 5 years I'm in the same place I am here, like that means emotionally, physically, everything, then okay, what do I need to do to grow? But I think when you're in that place of acknowledging it, not necessarily meaning you're like you've mastered being healed or you've
Mhm.
mastered, but just being like, okay, I'm on this journey, and understanding that it's a journey for a reason. It's not going to end like, okay, tomorrow. I mean, unless we leave this earth, you know what I mean? Does that make sense
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's just a different way to look at it. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and go on to like the marathon, because I feel like what you did this marathon, it's not just it's a huge deal that you did a marathon, but I feel like, and I'm gonna let you talk on this, but like I feel like it's more than just a physical accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a
Mhm.
huge deal because that was like, oh my God, you had me crying the whole time you were in Hawaii. But like I want you to tell people like when you started to like get into like running, and then when you decided to like, I'm gonna do a marathon, you know? And then we'll talk
Mhm.
about like kind of like the whole process, like of you preparing like mentally, physically, like everything, because I feel like I always look at everything we do in life as a life lesson that you can learn
Mhm.
something. And I think what you did was a huge deal, Miha, for yourself, I'm sure, but like it impacted so many of us because we were like, oh my God, like she did it. But I feel like I want to get into your like headspace of like how you got to that place. You know what
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always
I mean?
liked to run. When I was in high
Yeah.
school, I did like track. I always did like
Yeah.
more of like sprints, but it was nothing super competitive. I just loved
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do it. And then after high school, I think I just kind of
Like,
just didn't really care about sports or anything like that. But I think that the end of last year, I just felt it was weird because I went through like a really good self journey phase, and then I get at that point I was just like, I'm in a weird rut almost. Like
mm,
it wasn't that I was sad. It was just like I've already done like I've already gone through the journey of trying to heal myself. Obviously, we're still in the process, but I think that I had gotten to a point where I was content with myself and I feel like life was feeling good. But I just remember just thinking, I really want to challenge myself in a
mm,
way that most people wouldn't. And I
mm,
think out of all the things that I could have chosen, I chose running just because not only obviously it's good for your body and you just become a lot healthier lifestyle wise, but I think mentally I struggle with a lot of anxiety, which has gone better over the years, but it's always been something that's been very impactful in my life. I feel like
yeah.
there's times where I don't can explain why I'm anxious and I don't really understand why I'm anxious, but running really was like that outlet for me. And at that time that I decided to sign up for a marathon, I could only run like I couldn't even run a mile straight through. Like I needed to stop like every
Wait, so
quarter
you so
mile
you signed up for marathon like when you were just
before I
barely
could
being
even run
that's
like
great. That's
before I
now
could
that's
even
like
run right.
that's betting on yourself. Like saying,
Yeah.
will you say that you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this? Like I don't know how, but I'm gonna do this. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I was scrolling on TikTok and that's where I saw the Honolulu Marathon and I was like, all the videos of like just like all those like super emotional videos of
Yeah.
people finishing the race, like their families there or people are cheering them on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like sitting there crying and I was like this is so powerful. Like somebody
yeah.
that can run a marathon, like they're on top of the world. And not even like, oh my God, like I want to be someone who can run a marathon, which I mean, yes, obviously is a good feeling to say. But I think in that moment I was like, I'm gonna run this marathon. I'm gonna train and I'm gonna buy my ticket right now so that I have no excuse. Like I have to train. Like I have to do
Dang.
it. Because
Yeah.
if I don't
This
buy
was
it
last year, the end of last year, was it right?
in December, like
So a
December
year ago, basically,
a
or
year
yeah.
ago, I think exactly today or
Really?
yesterday maybe, yeah, because it
Wow.
was yeah, it was crazy, and I didn't even, like, really watch too many things about this marathon. I was just like, first of all, it's in Hawaii, so that's crazy. Second of all, running a marathon is gonna be insane, but I also was just like, this is gonna be the challenge of the year and I'm gonna
Yes.
do it. Because one thing about me is I am so persistent when it comes to what I say I'm gonna do. And so
Mm,
if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get out
yeah.
of bed, even if I don't want to, which
Yeah.
isn't a thing that's always been something that I do. I feel like I'm slowly learning to be that person. But I think once I bought the ticket, I was like, oh
You're
my
like, wait, I'm
God.
doing this.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, wait, I have to start training. And I remember not even like I think not even like a week after I did my I bought my ticket. I was at work because I'm a server, so I was serving a table, and they were talking about a marathon. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna run a marathon next year," and I just like I've never ran one before. Like I'm so excited, and I remember this lady was like, "Oh, honey, like you need a lot of training if you've never ran before."
She said it like that.
Yeah, she said it like that, and instead of being like, "Oh, like that is so rude," I literally in my head was like, "See this? Like I'm gonna
She's
prove
like,
her
bet.
so wrong." Like even though I'll probably never see her again, but I was like, "Oh, lady, you are underestimating like what I can do." And I think in signing up for that marathon, in training, in just deciding to do it, even on days I didn't want to, helped me become a better person and a better version of myself because I believed in myself so much that other things in my personality or my
I love it.
life just started to change. And even like, I mean,
Mm.
you obviously can attest, and my family and my friends can
Huh.
see like Daisy last year compared to me now, or even like
Oh my
4 years
God,
ago,
yeah.
5 years ago. I feel like it's such a drastic change, and it wasn't because I was trying to prove myself to somebody. It was because I said, I'm going to challenge myself because I crave it. I want to learn something new. I want to
Mhm.
prove to myself that I'm capable of anything that I could put my mind to, and
I love
that's what
that.
I did.
Well, I was gonna say when that lady said that to you, I'm sure part of you was like, I needed to hear that. Like, bet, okay, you know. I don't know, because I
Yeah.
know that's how you are too, because you're competitive. But I feel like you just said, like with yourself, like which I think that's such a great example because a lot of times we can say things. I want to do this. I'm gonna do this, and I'm sure a lot of us have done that, you know.
Mhm.
And the question is, do we go through with it? You know, maybe I'll try next year. I'll be first to say, you know, that it's not easy. It's easier said than done. And for you to sign up for something this difficult because it is, and maybe that lady when you told her, I don't know what she was thinking, but you know what? Like you said, it's not even to prove her or anybody. It's like, okay, I could imagine the way because I know you. You were like, but okay, no, I'm sure
Yeah.
you wish you could like find her, and be like, listen, let me show you my
Like,
medal.
I did it. Yeah. But
No,
also I
but I
think
love that you said you know that it has helped you grow and you're like when I say I'm going to do something I do it, and I think that's such a great thing or to be that way because a lot of times we say things and so many of us, and I say us because and I'm trying to get out of that too, right? But like a lot of times not even just challenges but things in life, like in our dreams, in our passions, we're like I'm going to do this, or when I grow up I'm going to do this, or next year I'm going to do this, and then if we fail a little bit or if we just anything goes wrong then we quit, right? And
yeah.
then later in life we're like dang, like I wish I would have done that, like you know, like just you completing this, you training, and like you said I witnessed it all, and I know the days that you were like oh my god I don't want to do this, and I noticed, and I was the other days you're like I have to do this, you know. And that's why I
Mhm.
tell you you're such a like you're it gives me the chills just thinking about it, Mija, because just seeing that's why I was so emotional. Okay, I'm not gonna get emotional watching you do the marathon because I seen you. Oh my god, why am I crying?
Cry, cry. Just kidding.
No, she did cry, guys. By the way, she loves to make people cry, not in a bad way, like in an emotional way. No, but it's like you're such a huge example for myself, your siblings, and so many people. You know, because to see your growth and just to see you
Got
complete
this.
this. No, but it's such a maybe a lot of people look at it like why are they making it such a big deal? But for me, and like I said, I think I said it in my video, like a lot of people who don't know might not understand it, but I feel like to see like the things that you've gone through. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew. Your siblings, myself, it's like it's such a big example to be like, listen, you can get out of like dark places. You can grow. You can achieve things that you want to achieve. You know what I'm saying? It's just about like putting yourself in that you said something that I love that you said like I started to believe in me, like I started to be like I could do it, you know. And I
Yeah.
think that's such a game changer because a lot of times like we were talking about earlier, like when we're expecting people to cheer us on, which is nice, we're expecting people to believe in us, which is great too. I'm not saying it's not,
Mhm.
but when you get to that place of like I'm doing it for me, like to prove me that I could do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel
Yeah.
like you were just such a huge example, like from the beginning to the end, you know. And like right now, look at you, you've even inspired your sister, you know, my oldest daughter to do a marathon. They signed up for another one next year, which is
Yeah,
in
it's
Long
gonna
Beach,
be
right? Or
so
in LA.
good. Yeah, in October.
I already know, like I'm already thinking, I know that's gonna be super emotional too. Like, oh my God. But I'm saying, do you realize the impact that you've done or that you've had on people? Because I know you did it for yourself, but do you like it like that's why I got emotional just because I saw like your preparation for this. Like how was that for you, like preparing yourself like mentally, physically, of course, because you have to, you know, be doing the running things, like, but how was that process for you, like the overall experience, like in every sense of the word, I guess, or sense of the way, if I could say that. Sorry guys, I'm such a baby. Anyways, okay.
I think, well, one thing that I feel like really changed my perspective on goals was that once I signed up for the marathon, I didn't wait until January 1st to start. I was like, it's
Mm,
December and I'm going to start when I decided I'm going to start to train. And I feel
yeah.
like that helped me because I was like, a lot of people tend to fail their goals because they're like, I'm gonna start this day. I'm gonna push
Yeah.
it till this day.
You
And
set a
actually
certain
one
date.
yeah, I feel like one thing that Sebastian has told me before so many times that his mom would always tell him is that like, why are you gonna start tomorrow if you have the opportunity to start today? Like, why are you
Mm.
pushing it? Like,
Mhm.
why are you doing that? So I think just starting before the beginning of the year really was like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, I'm really doing this. And I
Yeah.
think that for well, one of the biggest reasons that I started to run was because I tend to get into a really dark spot, like mentally.
Mm.
And I've never really been someone to be like, oh, let me go talk to my mom, let me go talk to my siblings and like see.
Mhm.
I mean, which I feel like a lot of us are kind of like that. We're very
Yeah.
reserved, very kind of to ourselves. And I think that at some point, I just was so angry with the way that I thought that I was like, what can I do to get out of my head and into reality? Like, not just be so obsessed with like how I feel and why I feel bad or what happened or this or that. And I
Yeah.
think that I saw this TikTok or video that said something like, um, it was like depression can't catch you if your body's moving. And I remember I
Ooh,
saw that and I was like, oh, that's
that's
so
powerful.
real. Like, get up, move your body, go outside, do something. Like, don't give that sadness or like that kind of darkness like a
Yeah.
chance because you're too busy to give it a chance. And I've always, I mean, for a while, I mean, I've always been that kind of person that's like, okay, get up, do something, go journal, go
Mhm.
whatever. And I journaled for a while, and I think that was kind of like what helped me. But I think at some point I was like, I need something
Something
stronger, like, and
like
in a good
challenging.
way. Like, I need something that
Mhm.
will really be like really prove to me like Daisy, you can do it. Like it's all
Yeah.
in your head, which I feel like
Yeah.
running is such a perfect thing to decide to do because of course like it's a toll on your body. Like you're running, you're physically exhausted, but I
Yeah.
think it's way more mental than it is physical, 1,000%, because the
Yeah.
amount of runs that I had where I had to tell myself like, Daisy, do not stop. Daisy, one more mile. Or Daisy, you've done 3 miles before. Just get it done. Or when I did 19 miles, I was like, Daisy, keep going, keep going. And it
It's
wasn't even like
crazy.
my body was tired, but it was my mind that was like, what are you doing? Like, keep
Yeah.
going. Like, you've already done this before. You've done it again and again and again and again. Even for my marathon, like I still had to be like, okay, halfway there, like, okay, you've done this before, like, just kind of like
Yeah.
reassuring yourself. And in learning how to do that while I was running, I think I also learned how to do that in person because I feel like something
Mm.
that I've always struggled with, well, not always. I think once I hit like 16, 17, I started to get a lot more angry with the world, with people, easily triggered, easily just frustrated or irritated. But the more that I would run, I feel like I just gave myself more time. Like when I was at work, if something irritated me, I was like I would talk to myself. I'm like, does it
Yeah.
really like bother you that bad? Like, are you
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
gonna like let your day like are you really gonna ruin your day because of that? And I would talk
Yeah.
to myself, and I think that me learning how to do that when I'm running, it just I applied it to everything else in my life. So I think
Yeah.
that yes, obviously the physique that you get when you're running and like the incredible feeling that you feel of having a healthy body is amazing. But when your mental health starts to
That's
feel
insane.
like when your mind starts to feel quiet
Ooh.
is like like, dang, I could breathe. Like, I can
Oh,
actually breathe,
wow.
you know?
Oh,
So, I
that
think
no,
that
that's powerful. I was just gonna say, sorry. I was gonna say that that's so powerful because obviously I can't experience what you experienced because you did it, but obviously I watch you, And guys, welcome. If you guys are coming in, I see your guys' comment. I appreciate you guys being here. Please like the stream and share. I'm talking to my daughter. If you guys are just joining, this is my daughter Daisy, and she just recently ran a marathon, her first marathon in Honolulu, Hawaii. Was it last week already? Oh yeah, it was the 14th.
uh-huh.
So I thought it was a good idea to interview her because I think it is so powerful because it's like oh my god, you said so many great things because I feel like it's so true. Even the fact right now that you ended it saying that when you do that, like your mind finally like you could breathe. But I feel like and I'm not talking for you, so tell me if this is the way you felt or not. But like just listening to you, like this experience, I don't know, like made you realize like damn, like I could do whatever I set my mind to do. I can quiet my mind. I can calm my anxiety. I can maybe even push further than what I think I could. My God,
Yes.
like seriously, like just and even like the videos you posted on TikTok, like of the marathon and stuff, like when you added all of our voices and stuff was so I was crying, of course. I was crying the whole time you're in Hawaii. But I think it was just like it's just really cool to challenge yourself, to challenge self, right? Again, once again, sometimes we get stuck on the things that we've gone through, or we expect somebody to come in our life and make us happy, or we have all these expectations of life, of people, and then but when you stop and say, hold on a second, it starts with me. Like, I have to believe in myself. I have to make the changes. Like you said, if I want something, I have to do it. Stop procrastinating. Stop saying I'm
Mhm.
going to do it next week. I'm guilty of it. Okay. Stop saying I'm going to do and like just do it. And I
Mhm.
think that's so powerful because a lot of times people it's easier for us to fall into like victim mode. Cynthia's because you don't understand. I've had a hard life or da 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 da. And it's just about just doing it. You know what I mean? And so I think this was such a huge example of you signing up last year, a year ago, literally, and then it's like, how do you feel of saying, dang, like I just completed my first marathon and looking at the footage and stuff, I was like, oh my God, like 26.2 miles, you guys. Are you serious? When I'm on the treadmill doing 1 mile and I'm trying to do it under 20 minutes, and that's not even jogging the whole time. That's just like walking. I'm like, oh, I can't even imagine 26.2 miles. And then she did it in Hawaii in the rain. Tell us about the experience. Let's go ahead and jump into that because I want to like, oh, I don't know. I think it's just such a cool. I love how this ties into like your mental health and how, like you just said, it's more mental than obviously physical is a part of it, but like
Mhm.
it's more of a mental thing, right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel like when you actually went to Hawaii for the first time and then you did it? Like I know you were nervous and you were like, but like, how do you feel like you pushed through and you completed this? Like, remember, I don't know if you remember an audio I sent you because you're like, I'm tired. And I'm like, Mija, don't worry about who's next to you. I'm like, just finish it. Like, get to that finish line. It doesn't matter who went faster, who's going faster. Like, it's completing it, and that's exactly what you did. You
Mhm.
know, so you should be super proud of yourself. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Can you tell guys I'm a proud mom over here?
I think, well, first of all, going to Hawaii in general was just like, oh my God, like I'm going to Hawaii. This is so crazy. Like it's something that I would dream of all the time when I was little. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like I knew I was running a marathon, obviously, and I knew what I was training for and I knew it was happening. But I think on the plane when I was when I was really like, oh my God, like
I'm doing this.
I'm doing it. Like it's already been a year and I'm gonna run and like this is crazy. Like this is just I don't know. I remember when we flew across the ocean, like you could see that we were about to hit Honolulu. And I like opened the window or like the
Like
little blind.
but yeah,
Yeah. And I looked out and I just started crying because I was just like, wow, like
like
I'm
I'm here.
so not even that I mean, of course that I was there. I was like, wow, like to be in Hawaii is such a privilege that I never thought
Mhm.
that I would be able to have. But also sitting there thinking I I did this. Like I decided I'm gonna sign up. I decided I'm gonna train. I decided I'm gonna fly here and I
Yeah.
did it and I'm doing it. And I think that it was still kind of like, oh my God, this is so cool. We're in Hawaii. Like, oh my God, oh my God. But the day before I was like, oh my God, 26
Like I'm
miles.
doing
Like,
this.
yeah, I was like, 26 miles is crazy. I kept going back and forth of like, oh, I totally got this. I ran 21 miles. I can do 26. Like, I got it. I got it. But then another half of me was like, oh my God, like I've seen so many videos where like they don't want to finish or like they like just like get hurt or they get injured or I had a friend who I started running with and she got injured when she did her
I
marathon.
remember that.
So I
Yeah.
was like I was just very like, oh my God, like what if I forget something? Like what if I don't prepare enough? Which by the way, I ended up forgetting my headphones, which was
What
insane.
you
So
did?
I ended up running the first 13 miles without headphones and then I got them
Okay, okay,
the
okay.
rest half of the way, which honestly
Yeah.
wasn't too bad. I feel like it was kind of fun to run just with my thoughts for the
Like just
first half.
and you're in Hawaii, so when it wasn't a bad view or sound, right?
Yeah, it was very enjoyable, but I think
Yeah.
that once I got to the marathon, like cuz it was at 5 a.m., so I had to be up at 3 a.m. And
Mm.
I mean I slept good surprisingly even though I was so nervous. But I just remember waking up and I'm getting ready and I feel nervous, but I'm just like, okay, like it's just a run. Like I've woken up
Yeah.
this early before. I've gotten up. I've went to go run. So I was like, I was still pretty fine. But then we
Yes.
step outside and it's just pouring rain. And I was like, oh my God. Like half of me was like, oh, it's gonna be good because it's not gonna be too hot. So like
For you
I'll be
running,
able to run a lot like lighter because I'm used to Utah where I'm running in cold weather, you know?
Yeah.
And then once we like get to the finish or the start line, I didn't not even really thinking about the fact that like my feet are wet, my shoes are like full of
Yeah.
water. Like I'm just like I have so much adrenaline. I'm like, oh my God, we're about to start the marathon. And I remember they had a fireworks show, but we were in a spot
Uh-huh.
where like we couldn't see the fireworks. And I literally
Uh-huh.
got so sad. I was like, we're late and I can't even see the fireworks and this is not what I wanted to experience. Like I was like already like being so negative. And then like Sasha was like, it's okay, like we'll go around, we'll go see it. And I was like, no, like I should have been here on time. Like I was so mad. And then I like as I'm
It
walking,
started
like
messing with your like you're like, oh my God,
yeah,
yeah.
like my brain was like, this is not how it was supposed to happen. Like this is not like what I envisioned. And then we like moved a little bit and we could see the fireworks and we're walking towards it. And I was like, Daisy, calm down. Like whatever the way that this day is gonna go is the way that it was supposed to go.
Mm.
And you have to
Yep.
embrace it. And so
Yep.
after that, I was like, I was breathing and I was like, okay, the fireworks are right there. They look beautiful. Let me go to the bathroom. Like, do all like the things that I need to do before I go. And then once I was able to see everybody, I was like, wow, the fact that thousands, 20,000 people were like,
Dang.
I'm gonna start running and I'm gonna make it a hobby that I love. And I'm gonna sign up for this marathon and I'm gonna wake up at 3 a.m. to be there at 5. Like just seeing that perspective of like, yes,
Dang.
I did this, but so did everyone here. Like we're all here for the same
True.
purpose, you know?
Yeah.
And so that alone, just like the build up to get there was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like this is just so crazy. But I think that when I was running, I can see the guy that was like like the winner of the marathon.
Oh
And he
yeah.
was like, even like I was barely like 8 miles in and he was already running back at mile 24. And I was like,
Dang.
oh my God. I was like, imagine like he's like running so impressive. Like it was just crazy. But instead of being like, man, he runs so fast, like I wish that was me. I literally was just like, everyone is like that. This could be his 30th marathon for all I know. Like he could be
True.
training day and night way more than I have, or than the person next to me. Maybe this is the first run they've ever had in their life. Like you just never know what season of life everybody is in. Not even in terms of training, but in terms of just
Like
life.
overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so running with all these people, it was so almost healing because it was like
I love that.
despite what everyone's going through or what everyone's life looks like, we're all here and we're in this
Yeah.
moment and we're like rooting each other on. Like there's times
I
where
want to see if I
people
can.
would, huh?
No, I'm trying to see if I could pull up your TikTok. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and there's people that like started walking and their friends were like, come on, like you got this. There's like on the back of people's shirts, it was like, come on, like you, like if you can run, if you did this, you can do this. Like there's so many motivational things that was in the entire run of the marathon.
Yeah.
But then obviously it started to get hard and I don't know if you're gonna show a TikTok, like we could get to that part after, but
I wanted. Oh yeah, I know. I wanted to show the one where you go like you kind of walk through the. Is it this one? No, or is it this one?
like the miles.
Like where you're talking. It's this one, huh?
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Wait, let me see if I can put sound. Hold on, let me see. Let's see if we could do this. I'm trying to. I had to like log on to the.
There's fireworks.
Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it though. Oh shoot. Oh wait.
Should we just mute ourselves?
No. Hold on. Let me see.
I asked God for it to rain today.
This happened last time to me when I people can. If you guys are watching, can you guys hear this? Last time I thought I couldn't hear. I did the vlog or not the vlog. Oh my gosh, the podcast. And I was like, it's not working. And then when I went back, it actually people could hear it. Guys, if you guys are watching in the chat, can you guys hear the video? I don't know why. Well, either way though, but she was basically walking us through like all the miles, like because now that as you're saying that, like I was just remembering this video. If you guys are watching, guys still here, let us know if you guys can hear the video. If not, make sure you guys follow her on TikTok. You guys can see it. See, okay, hi Patty, my sister's there. Okay, they can't hear. That's so weird. I don't know what happened. Why I can't hear it. But so maybe I should be quiet. Then they can hear it. Let's let them hear it. That's so weird. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. The other people.
We're at mile 9. I think mile 10 should be coming up pretty soon. Mile 10, almost halfway there. Mile 11.
I'm just gonna wait till it finishes.
He's biking, following.
As long as they can hear it.
Bye. Just hit halfway through. Guys, I'm so tired. I'm already tired and we're only halfway, guys. I want to cry. Mile 18. I skipped like 5 miles. Mile 19.
You were tired there.
I feel like the finish line feels forever away. Mile 20. 6 more to go. Mile 23. Officially the longest I've ever ran. And I'm so tired. My feet are covered in blisters right now. Marathon complete. 26.2. That was so fucking hard. All right, y'all.
Aww. Okay, let me pause it. I wanted to share that, guys. Make sure, guys. Patty said you could hear it, because as long as you guys can hear it, we're okay. But when you were saying that, I think that's such a great example. You just said it right now. How it's what a challenge it is, and that you're there. I mean, gosh, I don't know. Just by listening to you, it's like I'm sure like I said, you impacted and motivated so many people. But the what it did for you in your personal life, like I think that's so cool that you're able to like that you went through that. Not just that you said you were gonna do it. You showed up. You completed it, and like. I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like now you could probably be like, dang, I could do anything I set my mind to do. She's
I
like,
mean, yeah, even before I crossed the finish line, I was like, I need to sign up for the next marathon and I'm gonna be faster. Like, and it was crazy to me because
that's
I remember
crazy.
seeing so many videos where they're like, I'm never doing that again. Like, that was like so painful, so bad.
Yeah.
But literally, like, 3 miles before I was about to finish, I was like, which one should I sign up for next? Like, I have to PR. Like, I have to go faster because I didn't go. I mean, I still finished the marathon, which, like, yes, that's crazy and incredible. But I think that I had such a different vision of the way that I wanted to look. And
Yeah.
my feet just, with the rain, my feet did not cooperate. But I think even though I didn't go as fast as I wanted, I think it was kind of nice that I did walk because even though I didn't want to at all, I was like, able to really enjoy the moment and like think to myself like, oh my god, I'm running a marathon, like
Yeah.
this is happening right now. And I think that it made it more fun and it made it more
Yes.
memorable. And also like Sebastian biking the entire 26
Oh yeah.
miles, like it was just a crazy beautiful experience. And I think that running is definitely a little bit addictive, I would say, but in a good way. I would say it's a pretty good
She's like in a
addiction to
good way.
have. Yeah. But
Look at your
it
Tia. Your
changed.
Tia said, I knew it. I knew you would sign up for more. I know she did this video afterwards where she's like walking in the hotel. When you guys, by the way, if you're not following her on TikTok, make sure you guys follow her on TikTok,
Yes,
and I'll put it
please.
up here again. Yeah, but she says like, guys, I was so hard. I have blisters on my feet. She's literally walking like this, like barely walking, and she's like, but what did you say? Something like, I don't know, my feet hurt so bad, and I didn't run as fast as so that only means I gotta do it again. And I was just like, is she great?
And
But
it's like,
it goes to show you, like you said, I feel like now you're like, okay, maybe, I mean, I don't know. You're probably like, okay, I did this. I mean, maybe I wasn't at the time, but listen, you did it like under 6 hours, like 5. I don't know. I was
I
just
think it's
thinking about that. Like me,
5:45.
5 hours, I'd probably be like 5 miles. Think about it, you guys, 26.2 miles. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but like that's not everybody signs up for this type of thing, So maybe that lady
Yeah.
that told you at your work, like, girl, like you have no idea.
Like, girl, you gotta be training for
And maybe that's
this.
why she said it. Maybe she was kind of like, she has no idea how it's not
How
as
hard.
easy as it sounds. Yeah, but I'm
I
saying
think
like
that
just to complete that is super cool, Mija. So I'm super proud of you, and I know you should be proud of yourself. And I know all of us here, your tia, everyone, we're all proud of you because that's, again, it's such an example, not just of you physically doing something, but it is obviously because that's not anyone can just go run 26 miles. Hello, like I said, I can barely do a mile on the treadmill in like 20 minutes. Okay, don't judge me.
well, you
But
got lower than 20 minutes, so
well, right now anyway, that's a whole other story. Okay. But I got to get it together. Like you just said, no excuses, even though I come home tired from work, but I got it starting ASAP. I got to get back on it. But it is an example. Like you said, it's true. Like, I feel like it's easier to have excuses of why we don't do things. And sometimes they might be valid, but ultimately I feel like, and tell me if you agree or not, it's of like, okay, what do you want in your life? How do you want to see yourself? What do you want to accomplish? Okay. What are you going to do about it? And I know that's your way of thinking because that's the way you talk to, like, okay, this is what you want. So what you got to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? And you're a proof of it. You can actually say, listen, I'm a first time marathon finisher. Okay. What you got to say?
First and not the last, let me tell you.
Exactly. And guys, by the way, we have to get there because we're almost at the hour mark. I'll ask you, would you say this Hawaii trip is going to be a very memorable one? And why so?
I would say it was pretty almost perfect, actually. It's, the most perfect trip I've ever been on in my entire life.
She said,
So definitely,
wait, can you say that a little closer?
um, sorry,
Guys,
let me just
she
focus over here.
completed the marathon and then she was proposed to the very next day.
Crazy with my crippling legs and everything, you guys. We did that. We did that.
My crippling legs and everything. Oh my gosh. First of all, congratulations. Well, we've already said that to you, but like, yeah, imagine what a trip, Miha. You did completed your first marathon and you came back home engaged.
Yeah, crazy.
Would you
Happier 10 or no braces.
Oh, that's right. She got her braces taken off the day before she went to Hawaii, I think. So would you say, to summarize all this, 2025 overall was a great, memorable year for you?
Yeah, 2025 was officially my favorite year in every aspect, whether that was what I did, how many times I've traveled, the experiences, but also in the person that I am and who I
Yeah.
became. I think everyone, I've always heard like, oh, like once you're like 24, 25, like your mental front lobe is fully developed as a woman. And I always be like, what
Yeah.
the heck? Like at 21, I was like, I already
You're like, what does
know
that mean?
everything. Like I've experienced everything. But I think now I'm like, wow, like I'm starting to understand what is actually valuable in life and things that really
Mm,
just don't matter. And I think this year
yeah.
was such a perfect example of what I was supposed to hold, like,
Like for
what's the word?
yourself.
Like, well, like just what I was supposed to make, like why life is worth living. And it's not
Oh.
just superficial things. It's not to impress everybody. It's not to live a certain way because someone says. It was just,
Hmm.
I'm gonna travel the world because I'm able to do it, which is something that I wasn't able to do back then. I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna fall in love, and I'm gonna fall in love hard because I get to, and I was blessed enough to find somebody like Sebastian, and I'm
Oh.
gonna run a freaking marathon, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability because I said I was gonna do it, and I did it. And I
And you
think
did it.
that even though it was for me, seeing all the people around me that are like, "Oh my god, I didn't want to start running." Like, "Oh my god, like I don't know how. Like I want to start, but I don't know how." Like the amount of people that have asked me, like, "How did you start?" Like, I don't know if I should because this, or that. I feel like, even though like it's not, it shouldn't be everything, of course. I just think seeing that, it's just like, wow, there's so many people you can influence in your life, and even me being influenced by other people. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just such an eye opening
Overall.
year, and to be able to actually influence people because I'm actually changing was something so beautiful for me because I think for so long I've always wanted to influence. I've always wanted
Yeah.
people to see my social media or to see my account or to see me and be like, "Oh my god, like Daisy taught me this and this." But to
Hmm.
just go throughout
Hmm.
this year and not even have the goal of, "Oh, I'm going to like influence and change everyone's life,"
Yeah.
but still having it happen was like, okay, Daisy, it just was all like more like of a clarification of, it's not about what you do to impress others, to follow
Mm,
you. It's, do what you
yeah.
gotta do, and and do it well, and
Hmm.
people are gonna see, people are gonna realize, oh, she is growing, and then they're gonna be curious, like, if she can do it, we all can do it.
Yeah.
But I think also, which is kind of contradicting what I just said, but I was gonna mention it earlier, but then we kind of got distracted with the engagement. But I think one thing that stuck with me through the entire training process, every time that I wanted to give up, every time that I was like, oh my God, like of all the things I could have chosen, I chose running. Like, what is wrong with me? One thing that always stuck in my head was, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Mm.
And that, instead of that being scary, that was such a like, yeah, it's not easy, and that's the point. Like, that's the whole
You're
point,
having
is
a
that it's,
conversation with self. You're like, Daisy?
yeah, like, it's not easy, it's freaking
Mhm.
hard, but, like, it's
It's
still
true.
possible, and that's with anything in life. You're gonna go through so many trials, you're gonna hit
Yeah,
rock bottom, you're gonna experience things that
that's right.
you wouldn't wish on anybody else, and it's gonna be hard, but you're
Yeah,
gonna get through it, and you're gonna come out more positive, more happy, more humble, more,
yeah.
like, faith driven, God driven. And I think that overall, regardless of who's watching, this is just my personal belief that no matter what, every single step of the way, God was always there.
Yeah.
And I think, and He will always be there. And I genuinely think that without my faith in Him, like things would have been so different. But every single
Mm,
day, the whole entire journey this year and every year, it's always been like, yes, this is hard, but I know that God's by my side and I'm capable of all things. So,
I love
so I
that.
kind of threw that random little thing in there. But if anyone's
No,
watching and needs a little pick me up,
no. I think that that's it's beautiful. And this is why this is real talk, right? It's not about, we talk about things when I interview that, like what has helped you. And I think that's important because again, and ultimately, you guys, if you're listening for the first time or not, or if you're just listening, I think it's important to have hope. You have to have faith. You have to believe in something, regardless of what you believe in, but understanding that, like, I think you running this marathon, this is why I was so excited to interview you, because like, and even today, all these things that happened, but I feel like I'm glad we did it because I think it needed to be done. Like, I think people needed to hear and hopefully you guys, when we're done with this, if you guys don't mind coming back and liking it and sharing and commenting, that way it could be pushed out to more people, or simply you guys can share it with someone who you think could hear it. Because I feel like that's the important thing. I think is just learning lessons, looking at other people's lives, even perspectives, and being like, dang, okay, maybe I've had a rough life, or this year has been difficult. Maybe for you, this 2025 was difficult, but understanding that there's always a way to keep pushing forward. Like, everybody's journey is different. There's, it's how we react to our challenges in life, like, what we do to change it, or I think just reaction is so powerful, because it's like, it doesn't mean you can't ever be sad, or you can't ever cry, you can't ever like have a down day, because that's normal. But
hmm
it's like, okay, now what? Like that song says, you get up, you dust yourself up. All right, let's keep going. And like you said, nothing was ever meant to be easy. And I think a
yeah,
lot of times we don't do things because we wish it was easy, But Cinthia, it's hard. I never forget. I remember Amber. I never forget her saying this to me one time. We went to dinner, and I was like, Amber, but it's so hard. And I never forget her looking at my eyes, said, Cinthia, it's hard because you say it's hard. Like, and I was like, okay, like, gosh, but it's the
hmm
truth, because it's so easy for us to fall into like, it's too hard. Like, life is too hard, and it is. But I think the difference is, again,
but that's the point.
exactly. And the difference is like, okay, all right, I already went through this, whatever I went through. So what can I learn from this?
hmm
How can I become stronger? How can I use this to like push me to do things or help people? I don't know, whatever the case may be,
hmm
So I'm glad you said that, because it's so true. It was never meant to be easy. And I think when we look at it that way, it's like, all right, all right. And that's what they say. It's knowing, understanding that even your life can be amazing right now, but understanding that there's going to be another life challenge. Like, that's part of growth. That's just life. It's just how we grow through it, how we,
And
um,
it's needed. I think that
it's
that's
needed.
what
Yeah.
creates
Because
it's
imagine everything was great all the time. Like,
And I think that's what creates such a beautiful balance, because I think
true.
regardless of what anyone thinks, you learn from and grow from the hard times more
Yeah.
than you would the good times.
Facts.
So anyone watching this, or anybody in general that can think about their life, like they wouldn't be who they are right now if they didn't go through those trials and they didn't go through
That's
those
true.
bumpy roads or whatever it is that they experienced. I think that
Yeah.
that is what created them, and that's what made them believe, like, I can do hard things, I can keep
Mm,
going. Like, I saw somebody say most people, like people that have experienced trauma, go to endurance sports because they've
mm,
already had their brain has already understood that even when it's hard and I want to stop or I want to give up, I'm going to keep going because I have
mm.
to. There's no other choice. So a
Yeah.
lot of people that do have a little bit more trauma tend to go into sports like running or more endurance sports because it's a pain that's physical, that is
Mm.
that will get better and you will be able to like be able to handle it.
Yeah, I like how you said that, because when you said earlier in the podcast, you said when I started running, and I came to a place where my mind actually was quiet. I feel like that's so powerful. Like you said, also, like, when you keep moving, like, the anxiety kind of slowly starts going, or certain things kind of, you start kind of moving forward, basically,
Mhm.
and I think that is so true, because it's like when you have that hope of like, oh, okay, hold on, I went through this. And something that's very important too is that a lot of times people, we stay living in the past, because yes, your past can affect you. Yes, maybe for the rest of your life you're going to have some type of, you can have triggers, but when you make that decision of, listen, that sucks, but I'm no longer there. Now, if this is where I see myself, okay, what do I have to do to get there? And if you could do things like this, things that challenge you, that you're like, okay, slowly, like my mind is quieting more, like my anxiety is getting better. Like, oh my God, like there is hope to like live a normal life, or not even a normal life, live the life that I want to live. Understanding though that there's going to still be challenges in life. But guess what? Now the way I look at things, the way I react is different. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of I'm kind of prepared for whatever comes. Like, okay, you're still gonna go through it, guys. I'm not saying like as human beings, you're not gonna cry. It's not gonna have challenging times, of course. But I feel like when you grow and you acknowledge these things, you tend to you'll face things differently, right? And you doing this marathon has like, it's like I said, I'm sure I can't even, obviously you explaining and sharing with us like how it impacted you is amazing. And the way it impacted people watching you, I feel like is so cool, but I can't even imagine how you feel. Like that's why I think we were so excited for you. We were like crying with you because I'm like, oh my God, like she did that, but it's a prime example. And you just said something I've always wanted to be, because people throw around the word influencer a lot, but I feel like what you did is truly not in a like boastful way, but like dang, you really influenced a lot of people, impacted people in such a positive way to like even push them. Who knows how many people maybe are gonna do their first, like maybe not marathon, but maybe 5K or whatever the heck they're called, you don't know. But I think that's such a beautiful thing, Mija. So I'm so proud of you. And man, I'm excited. I can't believe you and Natalie signed up next year in LA. I have to be there for sure. Yeah, but I mean, how does that make you feel? And we're gonna wrap it up already, because like you said, we can go talk on forever. But like, how does it make you feel that your sister now, like your older sister's like, I want to do this, and you guys signed up? Like, how does I think that's what you mean? I'd be excited. I'd be like, oh my God,
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of funny just because I've always looked up to Nat. Like she's my older sister, and I feel like I always looked to her to like learn how to be better and learn how to like be independent and like just hold myself at like a more mature way of thinking. She's my older sister. I feel like you naturally look up to them. But I think when she started like messaging me like, Daisy, like you're motivating me, like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Like just seeing her talk to me like that, it was just kind of like, this is like so crazy, because I would never think as a little sister that she would be like, oh my God, you're influencing me. And it's crazy because when I was running, obviously all you guys were sending me audios about like, Daisy, keep going, keep going. But I think that the ones that really
I love her audios.
Hurt my heart, or not hurt my heart, but like got to my heart was Nat's. Mainly because of course I look up to her a lot. But she just one thing she said when I was running was, Daisy, I always thought that I've always wanted to run a marathon, and I thought it was gonna be me, but it was you. It's like you were the one, like you were the one that's gonna change, like the family generation, the family cycle. Obviously not in all aspects, but in this specific challenge. And I think hearing that from her, like the fact that I've just worked so hard in life in general to be this person, this like strong will, this willing to like be something that I never thought that I could be, and then having your older sister say like, you are that person, like you did that, like running with that in my ears, like I just started crying. So it just was like, of course to impact anybody is a beautiful thing, but the fact that I influenced and impacted her to the point where she was like, let's sign up for another marathon and let's do it together and let's like train for it. And I think obviously everyone thinks like you have to be the oldest to be able to tell anybody else what to do or to like advise them or whatever. But to see that and obviously not only Nat, like I mean Lily's also like, dang, I don't know how you did that, or Eddie was like, dang, like you're crazy in a good way.
In a good way.
But I think that this definitely helped me bond with Nat in a way that I've always wanted to. And now that we're going to be training, and like I'm hoping to be able to fly earlier than that marathon race, to be able to do like a small race with her or just go for a run with her.
Like to practice, like to train.
Yeah, and I think also just Nat and I mean obviously all of our siblings experience the same like upbringing, but I think Nat and I just we connect in a different way just because of certain things that happened. And I think that out of all of us, like, I feel like her and I kind of held on to a lot of anger and a lot of shoot, I'm gonna cry.
It's okay.
Just a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So I think to see, like, the fact that I did it and the fact that she's wanting to do it with me, it's like we're both like, "Okay, let's do this journey together, even though we're separate." So, I think it's gonna
Mm.
be another emotional marathon, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be healing for her, it's gonna be healing for us, and
Oh
it's
my
just gonna
god.
prove to us again that, like, we're capable, and despite everything that we've been through, like, we powered through, and we're not what everyone said we were gonna be. We didn't turn
That's
out
right.
the way that everyone thought that we would, and we're gonna show everyone after us that it's possible and that life gets better, and despite what anything that you go through, like, you have the choice to change your life in the best and most beautiful way possible, and I think that if it's anyone, it would be me and her because we can show so many people that it's just you can't be stuck in what happened to you, but you can change everything.
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
that it's a beautiful duo that will be running this marathon. And of course, eventually I would love Lily to run one and you to run one and Eddie to run one, but I
Yeah.
think that it's really special that it's me and Nat, and
Whew, man.
we're gonna learn so
Okay.
much from this.
I know. No, and I think that's so beautiful, Mija, because like, oh goodness.
I know, I didn't think I was gonna cry at
No.
all, but
No, but just hearing you is like, first of all, makes me proud because in spite of everything that you guys have gone through, to see like where you guys are now, and even this, you doing this with Nat it is so special. I think it's gonna be so healing for both of you. But it goes to show you how powerful the impact that you've made, like in so many people, but more like you said, in your sisters, like in your siblings, and they look up to you, and I think that's such a beautiful thing, and I'm proud of you and all my kids, and I hope Natalie's watching this, and if not, hopefully she comes back and watches this,
Hmm.
because it shows the love you have for her, how much I love her, and it also shows like the choice. Oh my god, I can't even talk. It
Me
shows
too.
the choices that we make, like in spite of going through hard times, there is hope to like still make good choices, because a lot of times people can go through a lot and decide to go maybe a different route, where it's maybe destructive for them, and obviously all of this is like can be trauma, can be things you go through, but the fact to see all four of my kids, I'm super proud of all four of you guys, but to see you take that initiative of like, nah, like it stops here. Like I'm gonna
Mhm.
make a difference. Like I'm not gonna let what I went through affect me for the rest of my life. Like I'm gonna do something better. I'm gonna be better, and I'm so proud of you guys, but I'm so proud of you for taking that initiative because you're a huge example. Like I said to myself, to your siblings, to so many people watching too. So I'm so proud of you, Mika. Seriously, like it's hard not to get emotional, especially when like everything that you guys have gone through, that we've all gone through, and but if you're watching it, just take this as like, hey, it doesn't matter where you are right now. If you're here right now and you're watching this, you have there's how do I say it? Sky's the limit to what you want. You can still turn your life around. Doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. Like whatever you want to accomplish, you can. You just have to decide on doing it. Right. So,
Mhm.
oh my God, yeah, we definitely went over an hour. Not too bad, but I think this stuff needed to be talked to, and I'm so glad you made time for me, Mihai. I appreciate you. I'm gonna give you the mic. Any last things you want to say to anybody watching, and then we'll wrap it up, and I'll show a little clip of your engagement, just because we got to close it off with that. But I appreciate it. And everybody who's been watching this whole time, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I'll give you the mic before I cry more. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
honestly, I feel like anyone who's watching, I would just say don't give up on yourself so fast. Of course, we have a lot to learn, we have a lot to experience, we have a lot to see, a lot of things that we've already seen that we have to learn what's okay and what's not okay. But I think that the biggest advice I can give anybody is just give yourself grace.
Mm,
Continue, don't stop, but just give yourself grace. Some days are going to be slower than others, and sometimes you're going to sprint all the way to the end. But I think
yeah.
that so long as you give yourself grace and you're understanding that even though every day is not going to look good, you're still gonna try your best and be your best and not necessarily doing something super crazy and achieving
Yeah.
something, insane, but just even being kind,
Yeah.
being
100%.
hopeful, being humble, and just keeping people around maybe that make you feel better about yourself. Like whatever it is that's helping you get through the day and helping you just become a better version of yourself, give yourself grace to get there and don't listen to anybody. Your journey is your own, and you're the only one who knows how to find that version of yourself that you've been craving. Nobody else can tell you how to get there or what to do. Of course, there's going to be feedback, and maybe some will be good and some you could just throw it out the window and it's fine. But just give yourself some grace. It's going to be hard to learn how to love yourself when maybe you've never known, or maybe someone's never showed you that love. So
Yeah.
just be patient. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be so worth it at the end, and you're gonna see. You just have to keep going, and you just have to stay positive, and you have to stay consistent in everything, in all aspects, whatever it is that you're doing in life. But always choose you, and don't feel bad for doing it. And
Yes. I love that.
do hard things. Do all the hard things that you can, as long as it's good for you.
Yeah, do the hard things, you guys. Man, thank you, Miha, so much. That's a beautiful way to end it, you guys. And like you heard her say, I mean, I feel like these are the things that I love, and this is why I do these podcasts, because I mean, I love to highlight people and stuff like that, but ultimately I love to get down to like, we're like, hey, we're real people and we all go through things. We all have a story, but also that hope of like, listen, we can change things. It doesn't have to, you don't have to live in your past, you know, or let that like stop you from being different, from doing different, from changing the way you lived. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys always say, it stops with me. I'm from me here forward, I'm gonna change things for my kids' kids, like it's gonna be different, you know. We have the power to do that. Like it's all about making that decision to change with us, not trying to change anybody else. And like you said, not expecting somebody to come and make you happier or change your life. Like we have to learn to do that for ourselves, and then to be able to, you know, attract the right people in our circle, you know, and check that, because it's very important who you surround yourself with, who you're talking to, like what you listen to, like all of that, like ultimately comes down to like what we're doing for ourselves to be better. And I believe that when you do take time to be better, then the right people who are doing the same will come in your circle, you know, or you'll be surrounded, or you can help people. It's just, it's like a ripple effect, like when you're doing good things, just like it is when you're doing bad things, you know? So it's really, it comes down to like a choice, right? It's a choice. Yeah. So that being said, you guys, I appreciate all you guys who stayed this an hour and almost 20 minutes. And I appreciate you guys being here. And if you guys could do me a favor when we end this, come back and like the stream, share it, comment, drop a comment, just so YouTube could be like, okay, Real Talk with Cinthia is doing something here. It's impacting people. But I appreciate you guys so much. And like I said, share the link if people weren't able to tune in. It's going to be on here. You guys can always hit that replay button. But Daisy, thank you, Miha, so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm excited, man. That's going to be a podcast for next year. I mean, you and Natalie. I mean, I'm already excited. That's going to be, I love it. You have no idea how inspirational this is. So thank you for your time. Congratulations on the engagement, you guys. We have a wedding to plan.
Yes.
Real quick, 2026, 2027.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
Who knows? Well, you guys, if you guys follow me, make sure you follow both of us, okay? So that way you guys are on top of everything. Yeah. But you guys, thank you again for being here. You guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream with the engagement. Hopefully you guys can hear it, because I don't know why I can't hear it from my end. But Daisy, again, Miha, thank you again. Congratulations. I'm proud of you, and I'm excited to continue seeing your growth, and to continue seeing this new chapter of your life. You know, as a you're already officially a marathoner and now a fiance. And next is the wife. Okay, it's so weird. That's like, it's so weird. It's like I still see you guys like my babies, but you know, this is part of life. So thank you guys. Have a good night. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, safe holidays, you guys. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. And I'm gonna go ahead and let me see if I can pull up. And if you're in the chat, guys, let me know if you could hear this. Hopefully you can. But Daisy, thank you again behind. I'll see you guys next week for our last episode of 2025. That's crazy to say that. But we're going to end it with this, guys, and then we'll call it a night. Thank you again for tuning in this late also. All right, here we go. If I can hit play, hopefully. But till the day I die, I will dream of you in a million lives. You're the one I choose.